On today's dessert special, we have dream cake. In this video, we're going to be using this instant chocolate cake from Lemon Square, and we are just going to line it up on your preferred container. Next, in a saucepan, you'll need 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/8 cup of cocoa powder, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and a pinch of salt. Mix until well combined and pour in 1 cup of milk. Stir it in until the dry ingredients dissolves, and let's start cooking. In a medium heat, stir it constantly until the pudding thickens. Now add in 1 tablespoon of butter and mix again. Pour in your pudding on top of your cake base and spread it evenly. Now let's get a bowl and melt some chocolates. Layer it on top of the pudding and again spread it evenly. Now give it a few taps and chill it in the fridge until the chocolate shell hardens. Then get a strainer, put in about 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder and sift it on top of the chocolate shell. And that's it! Best paired with coffee on these rainy days. Enjoy! Easy mac and cheese, let's go! First, we'll cook the pasta and save some pasta water. Now in a saucepan, we put in 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 pressed garlic, 1 tablespoon of flour, and we will make a roux like this. Now pour in 1 cup of milk, stir until it becomes thick, and add some cheese spread. Season with salt and pepper, and stir until well combined. Now we take out the garlic, and we throw in the pasta. Add in the pasta water, and mix well. Transfer it into a plate, and I like to add more shredded cheese and parsley. Korean fried chicken, let's go. First, of course, we need some chicken, and I'm going to season it with salt, pepper, and a little bit of paprika. Mix it well. I like to use my hands. Don't worry, Karen, I wash it, it's clean. Now we get some cornstarch to coat our chicken. When chicken is coated, deep fry until golden. Fried chicken is done, now we make the sauce. In a saucepan, we need 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of gochujang, 2 tablespoons of honey, and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, and half a tablespoon of sesame oil. Mix well, and turn your fire on medium heat and cook until bubbly. Pop your chicken back in and mix it with the sauce. Transfer it into a plate, sprinkle some sesame seeds, and spring onions for garnish. Trust me, this is so addictive. 자오마겠습니다. KFC's famous bowl, let's go. First, we boil some peeled potatoes. I like to add a little bit of salt, and when it's tender, we just take it out and mash it with the forks. Add a little bit of butter and milk and mix well. Mashed potatoes are done. Now we get some chicken breast and cut it into little pieces like this. Add in your choice of seasoning, some pepper and paprika. I also put in a little bit of cornstarch and then mix it in until evenly coated, and then add your all-purpose flour and mix again until everything is coated and deep fry until golden. Now in a pan, we put in some butter and add in some corn, and buttered corn is done. For the gravy, I'm using this McCormick chicken gravy seasoning mix, and I'll just follow the instructions, adding in hot water and mix until smooth. Now let's assemble the famous bowl. Mashed potato, buttered corn, chicken shots, some cheese, drizzle some gravy, and it's done. This is my favorite snack. Give it a try, you won't regret it. Let's make carbonara the right way. First, we cook the pasta according to the package instructions, and then scoop out a little bit of the pasta water and save it for later. Now let's make the sauce mixture, starting in with 3 eggs, 4 ounces of grated parmesan, pinch of salt and pepper to taste, and mix well. Now in a pan, pour in some olive oil and fry up your bacon. It's better to use thick cut bacon, but we don't have that, so we're just using the regular ones. Now throw in your cooked pasta and mix well. Then turn your fire on low and add in your sauce mixture. Make sure that you constantly mix your pasta so that your eggs won't get scrambled. Now add in the pasta water and mix well until everything is well combined. And then you're done. This carbonara is so creamy, so yummy, you will surely ask for more. Enjoy! On today's menu, we have chicken katsu. First thing we need is a chicken breast fillet and pat it down with tissue. Next, we season it with your preferred seasoning and pepper. Massage it through and do the same on the other side. Then cover it with cling wrap, and I just use a bottle here to flatten the chicken. So your fillet should be thin like this. Now we need a bowl and 2 plates, 2 beaten eggs in the bowl, flour, and Japanese breadcrumbs. Now let's get into dipping. First in the flour, then in the eggs, and then the breadcrumbs. Press it in so that the breadcrumbs would stick in the fillet, and it should be like this. And then we want to fry it until it's golden. Now let's make the tonkatsu sauce. We need 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 1.5 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and mix well. Then let's assemble our katsu. I just put some rice, and then the katsu, drizzle it with your sauce. I also added some cabbage that is thinly sliced and some mayo. And that's it. Itadakimasu! For today's video, we're gonna be making Lomi Batangas. First, let's fry up our toppings. I'm using sweet balls and bacon. Then, let's boil some chicken. When that's cooked, shred the chicken and save the broth. Now, in a pot, add a little bit of oil, toast up some garlic, and save it for later. In the same pot, throw in some butter and saute some onions. Next is liver cut into tiny pieces. Throw back in your shredded chicken, add a little bit of soy sauce, and just saute for 3 minutes. Pour in your chicken broth and water. Add some chicken cube, and when it's boiling, add in your carrots and then your noodles. Just make sure you rinse your noodles well so it's not gonna be salty. Now we pour in some slurry water so that the soup will thicken up a bit like this. Then beat your eggs, slowly pour it into your soup and stir it slowly. Now some salt and pepper to taste, and lastly is our cabbage. And that's done, put on your toppings, some chicharron, squid balls, bacon, toasted garlic, and spring onions. Today's menu, we're gonna be making beef teriyaki. First, you will need 250 grams thinly sliced beef. Then, in a bowl, we mix 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1/4 cup of water, 1 tablespoon brown sugar, pinch of pepper, 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, 2 teaspoons of garlic. Mix it all in until the sugar dissolves. Now, heat up some pan, put a little bit of oil, and then sear it in your beef. Toss it a few times so it will be seared evenly. Now, when it's brown, pour in your teriyaki sauce mixture. Simmer until your beef is tender and add in some water if needed. When that's done, add in some slurry water so that the sauce will thicken up a bit. Now transfer your beef teriyaki into a bowl and then sprinkle some spring onions and some sesame seeds for garnish. Serve it with some steamed rice, and there you have it! For today's video, we're gonna be making some gyoza. Let's start by grating some cabbage, about 1 cup. And when that's done, sprinkle about half a teaspoon of salt and leave it for 30 minutes. In a bowl, we put in 250 grams of ground pork, 1/4 cup of spring onions, half of an onion, 1 clove of garlic, and a teaspoon of ginger. Now we add in a tablespoon of cornstarch, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, and 1 teaspoon sesame oil. Add in a pinch of salt and pepper, then add in the cabbage. Make sure you squeeze out the liquid. Mix it all together so that the flavor will get to know each other. Now get yourself a plate, sprinkle with some cornstarch, and we're gonna be using this dumpling wrapper. I'll show you guys how I fold my gyoza in a separate video since I cannot squeeze it in here anymore. So I just fry my gyoza in one side until it's golden, and I put in about 1/3 cup of water. Cover your gyoza and let it steam until the liquid evaporates. So that's gonna give you a crispy side of gyoza and the other one is translucent. For the dipping sauce, I just mix some soy sauce and rice wine vinegar. Also add in some chili oil so it will have a little. In this video, we're gonna be making something easy, which is buko pandan. First, we cook the jelly. Just follow the instructions at the back of the packet. I choose this buko pandan flavored jelly just so I won't have to boil pandan leaves anymore, so it's easier, I guess. When you're done cooking the jelly, just transfer it into a mold. And then I like to cut it into small bite-sized pieces. I decided to use the same container since it's big enough for the buko pandan. So I'm gonna start off with the buko meat. And then I also put some nata de coco and some condensed milk and cream. Now all you have to do is mix it all in until everything is well incorporated. Let it chill in the freezer and then you'll have a creamy, yummy buko pandan. Enjoy! For this video, let's make Filipino-style spaghetti but healthier. First, let's start with the pasta. Just follow the instructions written on the package and save about 1/4 cup of pasta water for later. Now for the sauce, I like to put in 1 tablespoon of butter and some olive oil. Then start sauteing your onions and garlic. Add in your beef and season it with pepper. Now this is where we're gonna make it healthier. We're gonna add in some carrots and celery. Add in about half a cup of milk and beef cube. Now when it's simmering, add in your tomato sauce. I'm using Filipino style tomato sauce, so it's a bit sweeter, so I don't have to add more sugar. Now we add in the pasta water. This is optional, but I like to put a little bit of nutmeg. It makes a difference. And some Parmesan cheese. Stir it well until the cheese melts and season it with salt and pepper if needed. Just simmer for another 5 minutes just so the flavors would vibe with each other. And when that's done, you're gonna have this, a healthier spaghetti that kids will surely love. Enjoy! In this video, we're gonna be making cheesy corned beef pie. First, we need some bread. Then I just roll a mug to make it thin like this. Now we need some corned beef, and I'm using Highlands Gold for this one. Cook it until it dries down. Now we just need to assemble the pie like this. Fold the bread and seal the edges with a fork. Now we need some eggs, some breadcrumbs, and let's start with the dipping. First you go in the eggs, then in the breadcrumbs, and it should look like this. When everything is coated, you deep fry it until it's golden. Now we have a cheesy corned beef pie. And trust me when I tell you that this is so good. Let's make some fluffy puto. First, we're gonna need 3/4 cups of water, half a cup of milk, half a cup of sugar, and mix it all in. Next, we need 2 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons baking powder. Mix it all in until well incorporated. Now in a separate bowl, we need about 4 egg whites. Beat until bubbly and gradually add 1/3 cup of white sugar. Beat until firm peaks form like this, and then combine both mixture using folding method like so. The consistency should turn out like this. And now we need some puto molds. I like to put some cupcake liners on mine because it's easier for the puto to remove. Now we add in the butter and top it with cheese. Steam for about 15 to 18 minutes, and then we're gonna have this, a fluffy puto. Trust me, this is so good. I swear. So for today's video, guys, we're gonna be making beef Paris. To start off, we got some good quality beef. Then get yourself some garlic and onions, about 3 cloves of garlic and half of onions. Chop it all off, like so. Now turn on the heat and let's get cooking. Start with garlic and onions and then your beef. Season it with pepper, add water and add salt. Remove those nasty scums and then cover. When it's tender, remove the beef, add the beef broth, and you have a soup. Next off, let's toast some garlic. Remove it from the pan and saute some onions. Add your beef back in, put some soy sauce, add water. Now for the spices, I like to put star anise and 5 spice. I also added some brown sugar, beef cube, and salt and pepper to taste. Simmer for about 15 minutes. Add in some cornstarch plus water mixture, and it should be like this. Serve it with some garlic rice and top it with some spring onions, and you have this. Voila! Let's make some tacos since I've been craving Taco Bell for quite a while. Let's start with sauteing some onions and garlic. Next, your beef. Add in a little bit of soy sauce. I also like adding some taco seasoning and just mix it all in until it dries down a little bit. Now get some taco shells. And this Clara Ole dip is good. Dips are really good. You should try it. Now let's assemble the tacos. So this is how I do mine. Beef, onions, a little bit of salsa, greens, and cheese. You can also add in some hot sauce to make it spicy, but this is how I like mine. I wish there's guacamole though. Bye!
1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of peanut butter, 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a cup of chocolate chips. Mix it all together. Divide into 12 and place on a prepared baking sheet at 350 for 8 to 10 minutes. Boom.